Hey guys, we wanted to come on here today and share a little bit about how cumulative we lost about 25 pounds. I was
Wow.
17, you were how much?
8.
8 pounds in the past 4 weeks. So we did a little something with our diet and got a lot leaner. It was fun, it was hard, and also had a lot of benefits all at the same time. So today's just going to be a little bit of a casual conversation on what we experienced through that, why we did it, what it would be like if you guys went through it and followed the same thing. We'll actually be inviting you guys at the end of the video to do this same thing for free with us in August, so it's next month. So with that being said, we'll kind of talk a little bit about what it is. If you don't know who we are, my name is Patrick Bell. This is my wife.
Samantha Nicole Bell.
There's also McKinnon in there. She took my other last name as well. But we're both personal trainers and health coaches out of Dallas, Texas. And we've been together for, is it 7 years or 6 years? 2018.
2019.
Well, I met you in December.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, more like
Whatever
2019.
the math is there.
So 6 years. And, we do a lot of things together, but not often do we sync up our diets together. We both had very different eating styles. I've usually leaned more towards meat, and carnivore. Sammy, you're not necessarily, you want to speak on what you lean towards?
Yeah, I mean, I still eat meat for sure, but I notice that my body really loves a lot more like vegetables and fruits, and it seems to digest that a lot better than only having meats and fats.
Yeah, so we're, obviously, she's not my sister or my cousin. We're of different ethnic backgrounds, and I'm a big believer, in the genetic typing. If you think back a few generations, what were your great grandparents eating? Generally, I'm more Northern European. She's Caribbean, African, a little bit of Indian. So different, produce availability there and foods. But we synced up this time for a very specific reason. We did what was called a low FODMAP diet. Sammy, do you want to break it down why we did that and a little bit of the background?
Yeah, so basically, I had been doing some hormonal blood testing and found out that a few of my markers, my cortisol, inflammation levels were extremely high. And this was a really big issue because I had been feeling a lot of things like bloating and fatigue and just the list goes on and on what I had navigated. And so when we realized this diagnosis, our practitioner suggested that we look at my gut. And so as we looked at the gut, I found out that I have something called SIBO. And SIBO stands for small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. And that is basically a long explanation to say the bacteria that's supposed to be in my large intestine has creeped up into my small intestine. And so we were put on a pretty strict protocol to help eliminate that bacteria. What's really cool about the process is that it's a one-time thing. So if you're like gluten-free, for example, or have gluten insensitivity, then you have to have no gluten forever, pretty much. But the protocol was to go on a decent amount of supplementations, but also go through an elimination diet to make sure that we're not feeding any of the bacteria. And so it was about a 4 to 5 week process.
We're still in it, by the
And
way.
we're still going through it, but we've made it mostly to the other side. And man, the way that we've felt has just been phenomenal. And so going through the SIBO low FODMAP combination with a few extra restrictions for our process, we have found an entirely new feeling just knowing that our gut is clean.
Yeah.
And there's just so many benefits there. So that's why we started the process. And we're no strangers to diets. We've been on probably every single diet you can think of. I've tried every single thing. What about you?
Yeah, I've done. I don't think I did. I don't think I gave vegetarian a good try.
Yeah.
I think I was like 21 and I did it for like 6 days.
Yeah.
But I've done like kind of Daniel fast,
Daniel
plant
fasting.
detox, which was more like vegan. Done carnivore, done animal based. I've done
Whole30,
keto.
paleo.
I didn't do Whole30 or
You
paleo.
didn't?
Yeah, I
Okay.
never actually tried those. It's funny, the style of eating that we're doing. I've gotten some of my clients on, and they keep calling it carnivore. I'm like, it's not carnivore.
It's not exactly. Kind of close, but
It's a
not
lot of
really at
meat.
all.
It like irritates me a little bit because like I'm very boxed. Like this is animal based, this is vegan, this is carnivore. And like it's not carnivore, but we are eating a lot of meat. Yeah, so we've done a lot of different diets, but one of the things with the SIBO too is we had it tested with he's a nurse practitioner, anesthesiologist, runs a hormone clinic, great guy. So we had tests done, stool tests and breath tests, and so all of this was like kind of backed. We didn't just like hop in because of it. Not that you can't, but I will say that was like, because I'm not personally anymore like a diet hopper, or somebody who like kind of gets into diets just for no reason. But this one, we had a reason, and with the tests, it gets passed to your spouse. So it's like if one of us has to do it, we both have to do it essentially to clean things out. Sammy did the supplements. I did not do the supplements, just so that way it's understood there for those of you guys. And I started off at about 210-ish, 208 maybe, and got down to yesterday I was 191. So like 17, 19 pounds. I went from about, in March, I was like 15% body fat, like 14.8. I want to say when we started this, I was like 12. And the in-body, and this is all in-body tested, so not the most accurate, but it definitely tracks trends. And it had me at like 7.6% body fat by the end of it. Sammy lost like 3 or 4% body fat, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lost 3 or 4% body fat through hers. So really, really good results with this, and I think what would be valuable for you guys is to kind of know, like, what were we eating? What was it like? We can break down exactly what we ate for 4 weeks because it's pretty much the same thing every single day. We would eat about 2 to 3 meals. I would personally try to get breakfast every day. Would you say you were breakfasty with it? There'd be a couple days we would skip breakfast. We kept coffee and caffeine and tea in on this. But essentially what we did was no grains, no dairy, although I did slide in a couple slices of cheese. Throughout, Sam's still mad at me. And then we, no grains, no sugars, no starches, no alcohol, and cut it all out. Essentially it was just meat, some fruits, and some vegetables. After about day 1 or 2, we gave up on vegetables. I feel like, at least. Would you agree?
Yeah, we were limited. Basically, we could only have kale and spinach, but no lettuce.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay.
You could do I think maybe you could do asparagus, but we just never got around to it.
Fair enough.
Like you couldn't do broccoli, you couldn't do like lettuce. There's no salad dressings, so no like, seed oils, and no sugar in there. So you could do we did balsamic, lemon juice, and olive oil like our very first night with like a spinach and kale and chicken thigh salad with like pumpkin seeds, walnuts. It was like a 5 or 6 out of 10. A big thing that we couldn't do also was garlic and onion powder, or onions in general, and so that really like nuked our seasoning. One of the things that we really learned throughout this was how to season food better. Because I don't know about you, but I relied on onion powder and garlic powder on everything.
Yeah.
And it's in so many blends.
So much more creative because of it.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, we started using cumin more. We started using oregano, parsley, basil, sage, coriander. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, those are it. Paprika and all the red ones and stuff like that. Cayenne. Yeah, we gave up the salads, but we started doing a lot more parsley. So I think that kind of like evens it out. But what we would eat is essentially, and you couldn't do a lot of fruits too, like so FODMAP. I don't really know much on the FODMAP diet, I'll be totally honest. Sammy, you gave a really great explanation on the SIBO and all that stuff too. But I think the F stands for like fructose.
And it's fructan.
Fructan. So like the more fructan filled or fructose filled fruits we couldn't really have a lot of. So like apples, pears, grapes, watermelon, all the really delicious stuff, peaches, mangoes, we could not do. So essentially it was, we're watching our dog almost knock over the light right now. But essentially, we had for fruit cantaloupe, oranges and orange juice. I had kiwis a couple times, blueberries, bananas, and that's it.
Blueberries, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like all our fruits. And about 2 weeks in, we kind of gave up on
I
cantaloupe.
forgot we stopped with cantaloupe.
Well, I started getting very explosive diarrhea from eating a lot of cantaloupe. So, one thing through this is the first 10 days was kind of miserable. Like in the way the energy was low, the digestion was just not the best. Would you agree or?
Well, and the way it was explained to us is that it has to get worse to get better.
Yeah.
And so, especially with the supplementations on my end, the goal with changing your gut microbiome is to kill off the things that don't belong anymore and try to reestablish some balance. And so the way it was described is part of why if you have anything like SIBO or any other kind of gut condition, the natural life cycle of the cell is going to have cell growth and then cell death. And in cell death, all of the toxins that are within those cells get released into your gut, and that's what creates this continual state of bloating, poor digestion, explosive diarrhea, all of these things. And but when you tackle it all at once and you basically starve and kill all of them at once, you're basically having what would happen over a long period of time. You're taking them all out at the same time, and so your entire gut kind of gets more inflamed, more swollen, more bowel movements that don't look normal. All of those things happen all at the same time. And so if I hadn't known that and going into it, I definitely would have been like, I don't know if this is working. But it was really cool to realize that and realize, oh, my body's actually fighting the final war that it needs to fight, because it's just been this ongoing battle for so long. And now that, it was around the 2 week mark that I started seeing changes. I don't know if it was cantaloupe for me. I didn't notice that. But, you might find that as you're going through your own version of a diet, especially if bloating and inflammation is a big thing for you and you transition, it might get a little bit worse before it gets better. But the goal is to stick through it and then to see what happens on the other side of that time commitment. So,
Yeah. So essentially every day we would eat 2 to 3 meals, protein at the center of it. So we would alternate between chicken thighs, ground beef, sirloin steaks, chicken breast.
rotisserie chicken.
Rotisserie chickens were a lifesaver throughout this.
There's a little bacon here and there.
Had a little bit of bacon here and there.
Some eggs.
Some eggs. We both done food sensitivity before, and so eggs kind of like irritate our gut a little bit. We'll still do them from time to time. So we also took out a couple things, based off of food sensitivity. Like you could do pineapple on this process, but we did not. Again, because we've done food sensitivity stuff and it was pretty high on our sensitivity. So this was primarily a gut healing protocol. Like first and foremost, we didn't necessarily go into it to get skinny, mini, lean, and mean. But that's kind of what happened. And so I would say for me, just one of the things that I really enjoyed about this is the food budget decreased like crazy, massively.
Wow.
So we live in Dallas, major city. You do your shopping at Whole Foods. You do, Costco. You're used to getting large amounts of food. You go out to eat. You don't notice how much this stuff stacks up. And it's not unusual within our marriage to have had $1,500 months spent on food, or $1,200. It was probably more normal. Would you say our average was probably like between $800 to $1,000?
But there were some seasons when we were going out.
Yeah, that was more earlier in our marriage. Those numbers weren't more recent, like the higher ones, but it'd probably be at least $800, $900, sometimes $1,000 on food. This is including eating out, right? Birthdays, going to see friends, etc. And we were able to eat in the last 4 weeks off of about $600 to $650. It was amazing. I got it down to a science where we were eating for about $20 a day. It was phenomenal. Now, I will say, we weren't like, running for the organic meats for this or the grass-fed meats. We were big bargain shoppers, so we go, Tom Thumb, Kroger, and we would get the meats when they were on sale. We get ground beef for like $4.99 a pound or $4.50 a pound, 93.7 or 80.20. We would get chicken thighs for like $3 a pound. We would get the 50% off meats the day that they're, trying to get them out of the store, and then we cook them up that day. This wasn't like we went and got the most expensive qualities of the food every time. We were really kind of going and also using this as a way to tighten up the budget around food. And so that was one of my favorite things. People always talk about, hey, eating healthy is difficult. We chopped off a lot on the budget, which is amazing. And so most of what our diet was those different meats, and we would have about 1 to 2 or 3 carbs per meal. And so we would just have orange juice, blueberries, bananas were like the main 3. And we had cantaloupe for a little bit, oranges and kind of clementines were also in there. And we would just rotate this around, all right? It would be ground beef and blueberries and a banana. It would be chicken thighs for breakfast with a swig of orange juice and a banana. We would just kind of go through these 4 or 5 staples throughout the whole month. What was nice is on our carb side, they were the lower calorie fruits. So I think that really helped to put us in a steep deficit throughout the month. And now it's 4 or 5 weeks in, and I guess we're about to finish up. We just finished up week 5, and we reintroduced sweet potato this week, and we're feeling really good. So now the protocol from here out is to kind of slowly reintroduce foods and see how our gut feels throughout it. And it's been good. I'm excited. Like to have a calm, patient reintegration back into eating, rather than it just be like a 4-week blitz and then we're going and eating Domino's pizza every day.
Yeah.
Is not the point of something like this. So it feels good to have a plan afterwards on it. And yeah, really excited for it. And excited to invite you guys to join in. Before I talk about that, do you have anything else you want to add in on the experience?
At first it was kind of difficult. Obviously, it's very limited resources, and our salad that we were talking about with the kale, walnut, pumpkin seed, that whole situation, it was just not good. And we found a way to make it good enough, but what it caused me to realize is that I am still not at the place of cooking. You may be different, but I'm still not at the place of cooking where, creativity is natural for me. And so what I really appreciated about the process that was outside of the result and the better energy and less bloating and all of that was honestly just a better relationship with food and getting creative and finding joy in the process. Kind of feeling limited to what I can and can't use forced me to think outside of the box. And so even when we did go out to eat, the very few times we did, getting creative with what I could find on the menu and sticking within those ingredients, it ended up becoming a challenge for me and expanded my capacity for what I do in the kitchen. And so it's one of those things that now I'm like extra mastered at chicken. Like I feel
she's the chicken
so
queen.
good at making chicken right
Oh
now.
my gosh.
It's like with marination and
So
all the different
good.
flavors and the mixtures, and now I'm just using my nose to try to guess, what's gonna make something good. That was really fun, but it's like now as we move and add in the sweet potatoes, I want to figure out how to make sweet potatoes in every single way possible. Double, twice baked potatoes. I want to make the cubes. I want to make fries. I want to make mashed. I want to do baked. I want to do it all. And so rather than looking at it as this really condemned time where I can only eat certain foods, it's like, how can I make this fun? Because I need food to feel fun for me. Otherwise, it's just not. I'm moody all day.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really talk too much about how we feel afterwards now. I think one thing that I'm really thankful for, well, just in general, I'm doing more conditioning training right now, and so I feel lighter, faster, leaner. I just move better right now, and that's been really, really nice. All my clothes, I did a bulk before this, so I was exploding pants and clothes beforehand, and so now it feels like I'm back into, not feeling fat and chunky, and feeling very lean and strong. But the thing I think I feel the most that I'm really happy is decision fatigue is gone. I don't know about you guys, but like when the idea of being able to have pizza or go eat this and that is still available, that for me is a gateway drug. Like it's like, oh, I could go out and do this, and that eats away at my head. Like I'm thinking, all right, should I or shouldn't I? How can I go out and do this, but maybe not go all out. Like I'm just, do I need to hide this from my wife because she's eating clean, and if I go eat, like, you know what I mean? Like these things that just aren't good thoughts, start to come up. And what was really nice on this was kind of fasting from those thoughts and just sticking to a plan, having boundaries like you were mentioning. And that to me feels really good to have said I'm going to do something and to have done it. And also not let it be done just in the 4 weeks, but to be continuing to go after this, into the holidays with cleaner eating.
Wow.
How do you feel now?
Yeah, I mean, energy is so much different. I still, one of the things I would struggle with, or I thought I was struggling with, was wanting to take naps during the day. But I still take naps during the day. It's just they're not food induced. They feel more natural. It feels more normal. And I know that my food serves me. I don't get massively bloated after I eat. I don't feel just like I'm standing there trying to listen to someone talk and trying to look for caffeine and some type of source for energy. I feel like I know what my body feels like in its natural state, if that makes any sense. It's like with all of the other foods I had been eating before, it felt like I was always just one level outside of myself. And it didn't matter how much I worked out. It didn't matter how much I slept. It was just like the second I'd eat, I'd feel just bleh. And so to consistently, day after day, week after week, not have that feeling, it's kind of like what you were saying about decision fatigue, but more so from like an energy fatigue standpoint. I don't have to fight myself in figuring out how am I going to stay awake for the next few hours in order to do this and respond to this person and go to this place and get this task done and go enjoy my day. Like I don't have to try to fight that part of myself anymore. It's just like I can either intentionally go out and do what I need to do, or I can intentionally rest and I'm not being pulled down to the earth because of some food coma, right? It's a choice. It feels like I'm empowered in that way. And so that's been my favorite feeling so far.
Yeah, love that. Work felt very effective too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt
Way
more
more
streamlined.
productive, way more organized, brain clarity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Showing up to clients really well. And like as
Yes.
we tightened our diet, everybody
Clients,
around us
yes.
is tightening their diet
Yes,
too.
it is a
like
theme.
clients got more on it. I don't know, I just feel easier to call people out on their diet now too. And not in like a condemning way, but just in a, hey, how would you feel if you locked in?
Yeah,
Because
standards way.
yeah, exactly, like leading from the front on it. And that's been really cool. And so because of that too, a lot of clients have been excited to give this a shot because they've seen what it's done for Sammy and I, and also just curious, super fast results like that in 4 weeks. And so what we're going to be doing is hosting a fat loss intensive on Zoom, August 2nd at noon Central Standard Time, where we're going to be inviting all of our clients, and we're also making it open to the public for you guys completely for free. We're going to teach how to do this protocol and how to set up, prepare, get everything ready, and also just have accountability throughout it, because that was a secret weapon for us, was having each other. When I was going crazy, she was strong. And when she was going crazy, I was strong. And so that was like so central in this, was having teammates throughout this. And so we're going to do a 4-week protocol with those of you guys who want to join us completely for free. It's going to be hosted inside of our Kingdom Health app. We'll have a sign up link down below. There will be a free trial with it for the app. So that way you can go through the whole 4 weeks and be squared away. Just know you can leave and not sign up for the app afterwards, but if you really do enjoy the app, you can stick around with us for more events and future things from there. So this just gives you access to be able to be a part of it, be a part of the community, and see what we do inside of Kingdom Health. And also, maybe you might drop 10 pounds, 17 pounds, 8 pounds, whatever it might be. Just start dropping weight and shedding away the things that you don't need. And what's cool about this is it takes 4 weeks. It's not like a fast solution in terms of a magic pill. It requires work. But when you do eat just meat, fruit, and vegetables, you have no choice but to lose body fat. Like, they're really, you can't fight it.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be fun. We'd love to invite you guys to join. There's a link down below where we'll include this, and you guys can join on in. Sammy, do you want to say anything to people thinking about joining?
Yeah, I want to say we talked about our very, very strict protocol, which limited us basically to bananas and blueberries. we're going to have a lot more flexibility for you. So if that scared you, don't be scared. There's going to be a lot of variety, a lot of fun recipes and things that you can do. But yes, ours was more gut oriented for a very specific cause. So we had a very specific protocol, but we've got a whole list of things that you're going to be able to use to explore, but it'll be different than most likely what you're eating like now. And if you need accountability, if you need community, if you need a little love, guidance, direction, we've got it all. We always have a great community when people come together in our spaces. So we would love to invite you for you to be able to step into your power with food, energy, bloating, fat loss, accountability, whatever it is you know you need in this season. So we would love to have you in the Fat Loss Intensive.
Yeah, like she said, we're gonna have 2 tracks. We're gonna have if you want to go like what we did with low FODMAP, which the magic in that was really the low inflammatory foods and the calorie deficit. And then we're also just gonna have the meat, fruit, and veg crew, who is essentially just doing the same thing, but you could have some watermelon, you could have some mangoes, you could go make a salad, still no sugars, no starches, no grains, none of that, no artificial sweeteners throughout this, like just keeping it basically, if it doesn't grow in a garden or on a farm, like you probably shouldn't be having it in this. And so that's how we're gonna be viewing this for you guys. So you have some options in there. So we'd love to invite you, come on in and join, come get shredded, come fix your gut, and come do it with us. We'd love to hang out with you and spend some time. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys inside the intensive. Take care.
Bye, guys.